You would have all heard of the victim card. These Canadians went one better and started handing out equity cards.
There's a point of privilege on microphone one.
She had to look like that.
I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker.
Okay, so she's scolding her because she called on the other line when she was standing there holding an equity card, which is supposed to get her called before someone because she's a member of a marginalized identity.
I don't have anything to say.
Hey guys, welcome to Normal Gays, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys?
So you probably saw clips from this. Canada. Oh, Canada. The New Democratic Party, aka NDP, which is like their left socialist party.
I gotta get my mind out of the gutter.
Why? Well, explain.
DP?
Okay. Why? What does that mean?
I'm not saying it on camera.
Say it.
No, because
bleep it.
everybody already calls me a whore in the comments.
Oh, you are a whore.
Anyway, they had this convention, and it's like the DSA conventions. You know those ridiculous clips you see from here from the Democratic Socialists?
Yes.
It's like that on steroids. They literally had identity cards for marginalized identities you could use to cut the line to speak on motions.
These topics this week are really making me not like left people. And I know what he's doing because I told him, I said, I don't like positioning us as right-wing commentators, but you can't help it when you see these stories.
Oh, no. Well, I'm not doing that because of that. These are just the topics that I just had.
No, I know.
I've had most of these for weeks.
Well, because
anyway.
it's you can't help but not talk about like this.
Well, because it's entertaining.
It's crazy.
I'm just looking for
it's
shit
also
that's
crazy. Yeah.
And you told me we have to stop talking about fat people all the time, so.
Well, yeah. So this is better.
Let's watch this clip from Sky News Australia where they went through some of compiled some of the best moments from this conference.
Folks in Canada, or snow Mexicans as some call them, and some of the
Wait,
looniest Canadians in the country got together recently. It was a conference for the
Snow
hard
Canadians is
left New
crazy.
Snow
Democratic
Mexicans.
Party. Now, you would have all heard of the victim card. These Canadians went one better and started handing out equity cards. Literally.
There's a point of privilege on microphone one. Then we'll go to
Bitch,
She had to look like that.
I miss the Clinton Democrats.
Well, this is like the leftist party. though.
I
It's
know.
not even
Oh,
like
that's
their-
this
it's
is
not
the
even
leftist party.
Yeah, it's not even their liberal party. No.
Okay.
But still, it's unlike here where it's a fringe. They're an actual party that has seats and everything. There's no DS. Well, there's a few.
This I don't want to be mean, but
They couldn't come up with any better person
it's
to
just
put up there.
sometimes
Depends
you can look at somebody and know exactly what they believe and
what their pronouns are.
you can just tell by the way someone looks. And I reject the idea that the way you look is what you believe, but I do recognize the pattern.
Once in a while, you can't listen. The same thing with the bull looking ass nose rings, right? It's not 100% of the time that it's going to be.
But
crazy
there's a
woke traditional
pattern.
person, but it's 90% chance. And
Correct.
pattern recognition is part of the human brain.
Uh-huh.
Now, in our more enlightened, advanced nature on this podcast, we try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Do we? Yeah. I don't.
We don't, but we should.
I do. No, we do, but we each have different people that we do it for. I give liberals the benefit of the doubt, I think, more than you do.
And I try to give
I give fat people the benefit of the doubt. Who else?
And I give Christians the benefit of the doubt.
I give trans people benefit of the doubt more than you.
Yeah.
You do Christians a lot more. I really don't give religious people the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, you go
often
off.
ever. Yeah. And you guys don't like that, but
we got to be authentic to who we are.
Yeah.
And what we believe. And
anyways, let's just watch what she's.
They.
I already
Then we'll
failed.
go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes, hello, I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker.
Okay, so she's scolding her because she called on the other line when she was standing there holding an equity card, which is supposed to get her called before someone because she's a member of a marginalized identity.
I don't have anything to say. I have nothing to say. I want to know. No, I have nothing to say. I really don't, because this girl enrages me.
This one or that one?
All of them. They enrage me. If I was around them, I would turn beet red and just I would fume. And I don't even know what I would say, but I would say some very mean stuff. And my goal would be to make them cry because I just feel like I don't know. I just have nothing to say.
I never agree with the people who are like, bring back bullying. Like, I think bullying is
Oh,
wrong.
no, you don't bully people on immutable characteristics.
No, that's
But-
not what I'm saying.
No. I'm saying, no,
But
you
like,
don't bully, but
these people probably should have been bullied a little bit for their personalities, not for their immutable characteristics.
I think
like just 5%.
no,
just a little
I don't
teasing.
think it's bullying. I think they needed to be embarrassed and corrected by somebody who is actually smarter than them.
Authority figures been said they probably got gentle parented.
Correct. And that's why they piss me off so much.
Well, also, guys,
Because they believe they're saving the world by pointing out their equity card was wrong. This girl probably thinks that this is like
doing her
a
big one,
huge immoral or like this an injustice that needs to be corrected. And they're so tunnel visioned on themselves that they miss everything else going on in the world. It's like when people on the far left only attack Democrats, and then they're the reason why Kamala lost the election, because all they care about is what they can criticize, what they have proximity to, and they have no ability to look at things from a macro perspective, and it pisses me off.
Anyway, guys, do consider becoming a channel member to support our work. And we're going to watch clips from TLC's My Strange Addiction. And some of them are disgusting and evil. So we do weekly members-only videos. It's the best way to support our content. We're a small channel, but we're growing and doing well.
We actually are. We
doing
went through
quite
a
well.
lull.
Yeah, but now we're growing.
I think we found our stride. We were kind of like boring for a bit, but now I think we're getting better.
And we're building a new set, which is
expensive.
incredibly expensive. So do become a channel member if you
Yeah.
can. But also, I also know that it's like gas is super expensive. Like life is. If you can't, please don't feel any pressure to, or don't worry about it.
Oh, is that Brad actually saying you don't have to subscribe? This bitch is in the comments. Somebody says, "I love your channel." He goes, "Consider becoming a member."
I'm just saying.
I'm
they
like,
should
I've told
consider
him
it.
multiple times that no,
But it works though.
no, it doesn't. It's never worked.
That's not true. I've observed it work many times.
You've tracked the account.
They literally reply and say, yes. Oh, of course, I was thinking about it and I will. And then I see them with the little member. So you talk your but then you'll
It's
cash
just
that check.
so distasteful.
Okay.
I sound like them.
Oh my God.
Like I'm reaping the benefits of the system I'm critiquing.
Yep.
But I just
are.
don't I don't believe in turning compliments into like compliments
You
are
literally have OnlyFans.
okay, I'll shut up. Point proven. I can
He's literally scolding me for asking fans to join a membership.
yes, but that is a transaction. Like OnlyFans is a transactional relationship.
It's not like I'm taking out a gun and saying,
no, but you are like
I'm just saying, like,
thank
hey,
you for the rather than just accepting the comment and saying thank you so much.
I'm just saying, consider.
Give me money. Like imagine if somebody said you're so beautiful. Actually, I do that. I'm gonna shut up.
You do OnlyFans.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up because I can recognize when I am wrong in the middle of an argument, and in this case, I'm wrong.
Let's keep going.
But don't do it.
How have we gone through 32 seconds of the video?
I don't know.
We are the problem, I fear.
That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking
Oh my
order,
God.
which is fixed.
When they bring up a complaint, they call it a point of
Point
privilege.
of privilege. Okay.
Which is fixed that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was.
We went,
You went pro, con.
we went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at Con Mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Yesterday, this
This is why in governance these people never get anything done. And this is also why they don't have their own party. Oh, wait, this is Canada.
Yeah.
Well, it's why their party probably doesn't win anything because they can't get anything done.
I think they might be in coalition with the majority government. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's because that's what they
do.
do. These far left people, they're like leeches.
They hijack the center left, yeah.
Yep, they hijack the liberals, the people who believe in capitalism, who like believe in democracy and all that stuff, because they cannot, for the life of themselves, organize accordingly.
Without collapsing into woke
Because
civil
think about
war.
how much time that bitch just wasted talking about her point of privilege. Oh my
You
god!
just know she's about to.
I'm. Let's watch it.
Can-
I wanna
wait,
know what
wait.
she's gonna say.
Predict her complaint. Which of the boxes is it going to be about? Race, sexuality, gender identity.
You know what? I
cautious?
was gonna say. I think that she's gonna say, as a marginalized person of color who is immunocompromised, I don't like that somebody probably said something or it because it's killing people with low
Scolding
immune
them about
systems.
masks or something? Is that
Not necessarily about masks, but some type of protocol that doesn't protect immunocompromised people.
Let's see.
This card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman.
She identifies as a Black woman.
That is such an interesting phrase, identifying as a Black woman. Are they, like, I know that they...
So I don't have to identify as gay. I mean, I just sleep with men and have romantic relations with men, but I'm not gay.
Mostly the former, not the latter.
Romantic, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I thought you said the latter. My bad. Anyways.
Anyway, I just think it's funny. So I think she was like mad that white people were using it.
No, she was mad that it gendered her incorrectly, I think.
See how we can't even keep up?
This is what I'm saying. They're doing no form of progress.
It's like a Portlandia skit.
Yeah. I mean, what do you like?
It's kind of funny though.
You know what? I think that America should have a coalition like Canada does. Like this.
I mean, there's pros and cons of a parliamentary government versus a
Well, no, I'm saying
party
like
system.
they should have. Well, we don't necessarily have a two-party system. It's just very hard to create another party.
We do have a two-party system rather than a parliamentary system, is what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. I was just saying that I think we would benefit from these types of people leaving the Democratic Party and creating their own.
I agree.
Because they would get absolutely nothing done. And they get a lot more done by yelling at Democratic members of Congress.
Well, but like Zohran Mamdani, this is his ideological ilk. He literally comes from the DSA, which is a control C of what we just watched.
Yes.
So it's like you say that like they should have their own party. They're taking over the Democratic Party.
Well, that's in New York.
And he's like a rising star, and AOC is as well. And she came out of that exact same thing.
Don't depress me.
All right, we'll just keep going watching the funny.
Time when you didn't have to point that out. It was pretty obvious. But we are talking about painfully woke, broken Canada, where this is how adults conduct themselves now.
Point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked, and it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender
What is
woman
Alberta doing?
had spoken over me. And I understand her rights are important too. This pertains to her too, but I don't know. I hope that in the future the federal NDP will also have a broader interpretation of the equity cards for speakers. That's all. Thank you.
I will.
Who is clapping for that stupid?
No, who's clapping?
You know what? They are the most narcissistic, selfish. What other synonyms are there? They are the worst creatures on the planet. You sat in line and they use their identity as an excuse for everything. You feel social anxiety as a marginalized person that intersects with my lived experience. Yeah, no, having social anxiety intersects with your lived experience. That doesn't excuse you being a weird ass who can't speak up when it's your time to speak.
Get her, Jay.
However, what I'll say is I think what she was mad about is that she tried to cut the line using her woke card, and someone said no. I think that's what she was just saying.
They are selfish. They're selfish who have convinced a bunch of other people that because you're Asian and trans, like, but first of all, Asian
racialized,
you're Asian. Privilege. Do you know how successful Asians are?
Asian is literally
if
more
anything,
privileged
bitch,
than
back
white.
of the line, back of the line, back of the bus. I'm sorry, but like Asian, maybe in America.
Clip that with no context.
I mean, I would love to be Asian in America because I would probably be a lot richer.
You'd have a harder time getting grinder hookups.
Yeah, why? Because my is small?
No, because people always put. Oh my God, problematic.
That is not true about Asians on a mass scale. I don't know.
That's a
stereotype.
You would know.
Most stereotypes are based in.
You just admitted you would know based on a mass scale.
No, I would know the measurements based on the surveys because I've looked it up.
Personally,
I actually looked this
surveys.
up the other day because it was on my thing about like male size per country. And it is true that they are on average a little bit smaller.
Why are you doing an accent?
Because it softens the blow of the inappropriate discussion. But I wouldn't say it's like a huge deal comparatively to where we are, if that makes sense. Maybe it is a huge deal in Nigeria, but like here it's like not that much of a difference on average.
Okay.
8 delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone.
She has a problem. She has a problem with saying straight?
She's like icking herself out by saying the word straight.
Or is it because disabled people are unable to stay in a straight line?
No, I think it's because straight is like heterosexuality is what she's icked out by.
Or she just realizes it's offensive to ask these people to stand in a straight line because they're mentally incapable of following any form of instruction.
No, I think the thing where she goes straight is her saying the word straight is like icky and gross. Which I mean, like it is, but you're not supposed to. I'm kidding. But
I was like, wait, what? It took me a second to process that.
You're supposed to pretend to not be disgusted by the majority of the population.
Also, like, why are you disgusted by straight people when the only reason that humanity is able to continue is because of straight people?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's fine that also like I guess she's a non-binary, whatever. So, but who knows? Maybe she's.
If you are so miserable, I'm sorry. If you are so miserable that you reject all societal norms and you think that you are like unique because of it, bitch, you're not unique. Like you understand you're just a miserable person who refuses to compete in a competitive society. So you reject every form of societal norms because if you accepted any of them, you would have to accept that you are the bottom of the barrel, bitch.
Wow, you went off. Okay.
I'm getting really triggered today.
Let's just roll the rest of this.
The microphone. With a prominently displayed equity card, if I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you.
I don't know what she's saying.
Goodness me, she said the word straight line there without a trigger warning. Point of personal privilege. How dare a cisgender woman speak? I mean, the whole thing is nuts. Everything you see there is a sign of civilizational decline.
She's so funny.
She might be slightly overstating it, but that is low-key actually
I would say
the Romans walked so we could run and do this.
Well,
constructed imagine the original democracy, the first philosophers to unfold the idea that the people could govern themselves.
Stoics
and you show them this.
The Stoics who preached about individual responsibility are seeing these people who have just a small amount of anxiety yell at everybody else for causing their anxiety.
It's wild.
I would say it's a sign of individual decline. Maybe not societal decline yet, but like if somebody is acting that way, like their life is in decline.
But also like these are the most extreme examples, but this ideology has crept into mainstream societal institutions. And I think that is a rot that is causing decline. Doesn't mean it's totally declined and everything is over and destroyed.
We're not there yet.
But you have to root out the rot. And instead, people are like patting it on the head and saying, you get an equity card. Oh my gosh. What I would say is everyone who wants an equity card, come to this room to come get it. And then it's actually just an exit.
I think I just want to be able, I say this every episode. I want to fight with these people. Like I want to.
Well, also they're non-binary, so it's not hitting a girl.
No, not physically. I just want to because whenever I have these types of conversations, like whenever I meet like a woke adjacent person and I actually start to debate them, I feel like it's just so satisfying to see their entire worldview crumble when you start to poke and prod at their ideas.
Yeah. We've been trying to get woke people to
nobody wants to touch us with a 10-foot pole.
Well,
some people maybe, but not the ones that we want.
Yeah. Blossom's still been roasting me. She told me to stack my coins again. She's the one.
Your coins, not mine.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
Oh my God, not a Katy Perry. No, we're not doing Katy Perry. No. All right, guys. That'll be it for today's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in.
In another life, I would be... Okay. Bye.
Do consider becoming a channel member. Please consider it if you can. And if you
Blossom, we love you.
If you write a positive comment, I'll reply to you and ask you to give us money. And
I would be your guy, Blossom.
Oh my
We'd
God.
keep all.
I'm sorry, but that's a ride you wouldn't survive.
No. I would not. No.
You wouldn't walk for days.
I'm not gonna say. I want to be less graphic.
You literally have OnlyFans.
So go subscribe.
Don't do that. Oh, we have to come up. We're still talking about what number of members we need to get for you to delete your OnlyFans.
We would need
We'll run the numbers.
10,000 to 20,000.
What? That's so many
No, it's not.
members.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right, guys, we'll be back with more real soon.